Okay, we're back down here again, back at it. So got a couple other ideas from some viewers. Appreciate the ideas and the feedback. One of those one of the recommendations was to okay, we're actually on the third preheat, by the way. Need to keep track of that. I want to do at least 3, maybe 4 preheats, and this way we got optimal pressure, hoping that we have a good at least 1200 psi in the 2 times 12 gram Umerix cylinder. I already punctured the handle CO2. We're holding X-68 psi. I had a few leaks. I think I fixed them. A couple slow leaks in the plumbing. I rerouted the plumbing a little bit. I put the gauge on the back so that I could see the big gauge a little easier. And so can you guys. But back to the ideas, the recommendations. Thank you, Sean, from Less Lethal for Dummies had suggested maybe doubling up on my magazine springs. So I did indeed do that on one of these mags. Both of the magazines still have the little block out, the little JB Weld steel stick in here to keep the Fowler tit from locking in. And I was able to put two mag springs in this one here. And because of that, I could only get 5 of the 9.9 gram riot balls in. So we got 5 in there. Okay. Wasn't quite enough space. All right, I think that just kicked off. Yeah, could hear the click. All right, so 3 complete cycles now. Just trying to keep track of this. I don't want to overheat those 12 grams either. But I do want to make sure I got a good 1200 psi today, especially given that MCS on off does seem to be dropping anywhere from 100 to 200 psi across it. So I want to get it up as high as I can and ideally be shooting at least 900, maybe 1000 psi working pressure. All right, back to the magazines. Yeah, so I'm limited to 5, but if it helps, that's great, because maybe the fix is a stiffer spring. Maybe I'm wearing out these springs. I don't know how long it takes for these to wear out, or maybe they're just not stiff enough for the higher powers. So we'll see if that works first. If it does, wonderful. We'll shoot all 5 of these rounds and we'll proceed. If it doesn't, I'm gonna probably take some electrical tape and not tape the magazine in, but do a loose loop so that if it does drop out, it doesn't hit the floor today like it did on the last time. I mean, it launched like the stinking space shuttle. Some of you thought maybe I was shooting my foot off with the magazine, right? So inside joke. So we're gonna try that first. Off cycle, waiting for the 4th cycle to kick in. The other thing I'm going to do, and also that was a mag, the one out of the 3 mags that I have that I did not alter. I did not carve out this piece for the release. Okay, so it should be even a better test without having that. What I thought was a possible fix, it didn't turn out to be my fix anyways. It could be somebody else's, but it certainly wasn't mine. However, this one does have the little groove cut out. I'll be running this test second. And again, if it follows suit, usually it's 2 or 3 high power shots. Once the PSI drops, it doesn't become a problem anymore anyways. So I don't know what the second mag is going to yield, but we'll run it anyways. And this one here does not have 2 springs in it. What it has is I took it apart and I put a small little space, a little rubber spacer I had. It was actually a gasket, a rubber gasket out of an 8890 on and off valve that came with the MCS on off. It was an extra part. So I figured that fit in there, why not try it? So the idea with that was I was thinking maybe it would, stiffen up the spring a little bit by shortening the spring effectively. This one also has the little JB Weld in the bottom as well. So we'll see how it goes. And I think I heard it click. Yeah. So we're going to try those two. If everything works out good and I have plenty of gas and I'm not wasting gas with it blowing out the handle, I do have some extra 9.9 gram rounds that we'll go ahead and shoot as well, use up the gas. Plumbing changes that I made was I rerouted, instead of it coming out the very back here of the stainless steel piping, I changed it over to put the gauge here. Now you can see the gauge. I think it's still reading, yeah, a little over 600 now, so that's even higher than it was upstairs when I pre-punctured the handle cartridge. So that's good. I think I fixed my slow leak. By now it would have already been dropping down, so I think I fixed that. Yeah, so I routed it this way. The line was ever not to be on fully, and I pressurized it instead of it whipping me in the face like almost like could have happened the other day. It should sling off that way and be a little safer for me too. What I did the other day without the stock, that was hairy. That was so hairy. Today's going to be a little longer video, so you may want to fast forward it through all the chit chat. You know, I've had some viewers say, you talk too much or you repeat yourself. Yeah, I do. You know, I don't know. If you don't like it, I guess you can move on. Like, watch someone else's video or make one yourself maybe. And then we can critique yours. But in any case, I thank you for the comments, good, bad, and the ugly. But I do have a couple people out there that seem insistent upon trolling my channel a little bit, I guess. But hey, whatever. I guess it's a compliment. I'll take it as a compliment. So, yeah, today I got the stock back on. All right, we're still doing the 4th cycle here. Once that kicks off, I've never done more than 4 heat cycles before before puncturing these two. So, but the last time I did 4, I did get 1200 psi in here on the mini gauge. So, all right, and we're off. So I guess I can stop talking. I was just buying some time, guys. You know, I like to hear myself talk. I don't know. All right, so I feel that it should be safer today. So what I'm going to do is there's no rounds in the gun. It should be safe. I know at least up to this point, we got 600, a little over 600 PSI, so I know the plumbing's tight, leak-free. Let's go ahead and puncture the Umix. All right. I think that's a good puncture. It looks like I got... It's either 1100 or 1200. It's hard to say because the gauge is so darn small. I don't know. You guys be the judge. It's at least 1100. Of course, it's probably going to creep up a little bit too. And preheating is off. So we got like close to 650 back here. I haven't turned the on and off valve on yet, and I will remember to do that because I'm known for forgetting, spacing out. I mean, I know I'm building a space gun, but that don't mean I need to space out. Or maybe I'm the original space cadet. I don't know. I don't know. All right. Yeah, so we're definitely showing 1200 on the Mini. Okay. 1200 there. Like 650 there. Okay. All right. I'm going to save my arm. That was brutal. This gun's, it's not heavy. Like, it's not heavy when you're holding the forward grip, but holding it without the stock being in your shoulder, yeah, the other day it was heavy and it was a little scary. All right, so we're going to do this. Again, we're going to start off with Sean's idea here, doubling up on the mag springs. It definitely felt stiffer as I was loading it up. So, but because of that, the double springs, it's limiting my capacity from 6 to 5. I could put one in the pipe, but I'm not going to do that today. Generally, I'm not in the habit of doing that anyways. But I'm not going to do that today because I don't want to throw another variable in there at all into the testing. I'm going to try to keep it consistent until I either fix this or, you know, maybe the fix for me is like, you know, how Brandon dealt with it, and just a totally different mag design, aftermarket drum mag. I mean, I'd love to go that route anyways, because then I don't have to reload. Can hold 18 rounds in a drum mag. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting consistently good numbers on 18 rounds with 3 times 12 gram. So, all right, we're loading the double spring installed magazine. Now, I should have already put my little tape on here. We're doing it's on a 5th preheat cycle, but we already punctured it now, so it shouldn't, the risk of it going much higher and pressure shouldn't be an issue. So like I said, what I'm going to do with this is I'm not so much going to tape the magazine in, because I did that once, found out the hard way that that's how you, with this problem, you destroy the mag. So I'm just going to do like a little service loop per se, if the stuff's sticky enough, that is. And maybe it'll slow down the magazine so it won't launch like the space shuttle, right? I'll see how that goes. I do want to capture the feet per second as well. Should be a lot easier on me with the stock today. So here we go. We're going to do mag 1, shot 1, 9.9 gram riot balls. And, oh, and I almost forgot to turn on the gauge. I said I wasn't going to forget. Here we go. Okay, when I turned that on, that dropped us down to 1,000. And that brought us up. Oddly enough, you know, it's weird. You know, one day it brings you up to 900, another day at 850. You know, we're at 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know, probably like 850. I was really hoping I was going to hit that 900 like I did the other day. But again, the other day I didn't have the Vulcan car stock on, so that's probably it right there. That extra pressure is getting probably eaten up in the volume of the expansion chamber. Thanks again, Sean, for the recommendation that there's other things out there I can put on the back. So I did order an MCS, what was it, 1911 or 1913 adapter. And I also ordered the buffer adapter as well, so I can reuse this car stock on the other buffer and totally get rid of the expansion chamber. This way, what I'm getting here should be straight coming into the bolt and valve assembly. So we're at 1,000 on the mini gauge. And creeping a little over 800 on the larger gauge. So not exactly the same criteria as the other day. And I got my tape on here. Hopefully going to be a little service loop. All right, let's see what happens, guys. 9.9 gram riot ball, shot 1, mag 1. All right, 458 feet per second. Not the 488 I had the other day, though. So definitely shooting better power without the expansion chamber. The good news is even though I put that little loop of tape there, the mag never even came out. So I think it's a fix, Sean, with doubling up on the mag springs. So, you know, maybe I can get some extra mag springs, or maybe I can just find a stiffer spring. But I don't know what it looks like inside, but it didn't even try to come out. So, you know, unless something's busted inside, we'll find out after. You know, let's see what the second shot yields. That didn't drop us down. I'm still pushing about 1,000 on the mini gauge. And I'm at 5, 6, 7, just a little over 800 PSI after that first shot. And like I said, it's about 1,000 still on here. All right, we're going to try for shot number 2 and see if the success continues. Actually, did you just see that? And a round fall out of the gun. So maybe the mag didn't eject with the stiffer springs, but it managed to push its way by my my new detents that I put in last week. All right, so there's one less round. So started with 5, shot 1. Should have had 4 left, but now I got 3. Again, I'm going to just shoot it the way it is. We'll shoot the last 3, and then we'll move to the next mag and see how it goes. My leaks are fixed, so I should be right there. Mag 1, shot 2. 456 feet per second. Again, the magazine, it's still there. Okay, so what's that? I got like 2 left. All right, here we go. Mag 1, shot 3. Okay, 460 feet. I moved my camera around, so I apparently don't know where the hell I am. 460 feet per second. Confused with my count. I think I got 1 left. Started with 5. 1 rolled out of the barrel. Yeah, I should have 1 left. So shot, what's this? Shot 4, I guess that would make it. 462 feet per second. Still excellent numbers, even with the car stock expansion chamber. But I gained a little over 10 joules, I think. No. 9 joules. I gained a little, like 10 feet per second gain, not having that expansion chamber in the circuit at all. So, all right, now we're going to pull the magazine and check it for damage. The pressures are low enough now in the gun where I shouldn't need to add the tape to the second mag, so hopefully this magazine didn't self-destruct. And it did, because I'm already seeing some bad things here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right, well, let's turn off the preheater. We don't need to make anything more excitable. I think I'm gonna have to turn this valve off so I don't lose all my gas. Okay. Oop. All right. Well, maybe I don't need to do that. Okay. Six, 7, 8. We're still at 800 PSI on the big gauge. I have my mag follower actually in my hand right now. I'll show you guys in a second. So 800 PSI there and about 900 on the mini gauge. All right, good pressure. So we're still holding some good pressure. There's no ammo in the gun. As far as I know, there's no additional spare pots floating around in here either that I can see, that I can hear. All right. Okay. So even though the magazine didn't pop out and the little piece of tape that I had loosely on there in hopes of catching it so it didn't bounce off my toes, even though it didn't bounce, it didn't eject the magazine, it did do the same thing that happened to me a couple weeks ago when I taped the magazine in, which is basically it broke the follower, broke the tit right off the follower. So You know, I don't know what to make of that as far as, is it a fix? I mean, yes and no. I mean, it's a fix, but I can't keep breaking magazines now. I mean, they're not ejecting, but the self-destructing in the gun. Also, I could end up with a jam with this. Of course, it's only happening on the last round naturally because the follower is lifting the last round, so it probably wouldn't cause a jam in the sense, unless I was stupid enough to pull it out and not realize that the damn thing fell apart, which I'm not that dumb, but I might be a dummy sometimes, but I'm not that dumb. All right, so I think ultimately my solution is going to be that drum mag. I'm really hoping that I forget the name of the company. What is it? John Scott? John Scott. I'm really hoping that once he has those up on the website, he'll let us know and I can get one of those secured. Because $45 a piece plus shipping, I can't keep destroying these magazines. And I don't know if anything else that's going to help it. I mean, if you keep the mag in there and you try to keep the mag in there, this is what happens. Whether you use double spring, stiffer spring, whether you tape the freaking thing in there, this is what happens. It still blows the follower down and it just freaking breaks everything into pieces. Yes, this is going to be the chatty video, guys. Feel free to fast forward, play me in 4 times speed or whatever it is. I'm pretty sure you can do that on YouTube. Just speed me up. I got a lot to say. You know, it's bittersweet. I'm very happy with this build. This build has been a success story for me. I mean, I designed, I thought, created, designed successfully a CO2 preheater. Again, it's not for everybody. It's not for every marker out there. You really got to use it with the Umerix 2x12 gram for it to be effective, for it to even be practical. Yeah, I mean, in a home defense situation, you're going to be like, hey, hold on, buddy. Let me preheat my CO2. No, of course not. That's not what it's about. Any more than if you're doing high pressure gas, high pressure air, you're going to ask the guy to stop while you fill your tank, right? So, I mean, it's for fun. It was a challenge for me. I knew no one did it, and there was no reason why it couldn't be done. So I was up for the challenge. I did it. Am I gonna build my own drum mag? Probably not. All my creative energy has gone into this project, as you can see, and now I'm frustrated because I'm yielding really great pressures out of CO2. Again, out of 3 inexpensive 12 grams. I can't stress that enough. I know there's a lot of guys that leave comments, oh, why'd you just shoot a 90? Well, if I could put a heater on a 90, I would. You know, I thought about that, but I'm not going to go down that road because now I'm getting into the HPA, and I'm gonna catch that bug. I get the compressor sitting right there. I just gotta get a drop of 120, and I'm gonna be playing with that and having some fun. But this baby is unique, you know. She will forever be on my wall the way she is. So that might mean I may be buying another Pistelli so I can trick out for HBA, because I mean, the Pistelli X-68 is just the best platform for this stuff. And it's so simple to maintain. I mean, I know a lot of guys get nervous about O-rings, but the O-rings are nothing. I mean, first of all, just keep it lubricated. I haven't had to change any of these O-rings in here. Maybe one on the puncture cap once, and honestly, I don't even know if I needed to do that or not. I think it was on an Umerix puncture cap, and at the time I forgot that you gotta, I was running out pressure on the back, and I didn't remember to close it, to hit it. So, I mean, O-rings, schmo-rings, right? I mean, keep them lubricated. As the air gun ninja would tell you, everything needs to be lubricated, right? Lubricate the shit out of it if you have to. And that'll probably curb most of your maintenance problems. And if you do have to change an O-ring, that's certainly better than some of these other, valve and bolt systems out there that are highly more complicated than this particular one. So it's good. It works good, you know. So yeah, I'm McChatty today, guys. I'm McChatty. I really want to make sure I don't have any more plastic. And oh, here it is. Okay, good. This is what I wanted to look for because while I'm chatting, how's my pressure? 900, 800. Okay. So as chatty as I am today, I haven't lost any pressure. So I did fix the pressure problem. I had the leak, I should say. Here is the tit. Tiny tit. There it is. Again, I can't keep doing this. You know, the first one, I drilled it out, stuck a little freaking nail in there. That's probably what I'll do to this one too. But you know, the thing that really blows my mind though is that it'll shoot the 7.3 alien clay all freaking day long. It won't break a mag. It won't spit a mag out. It's just happy with it. I'm starting to think this Pastelli just does not like its upgrades. I don't know. I guess, but I want to make good power, great power, and for great power you need weight. You know, hell, if I could get something that's bore matched and heavier than 9.910 grams, I'd try shooting it down this barrel. I really would. I'd run that sucker right down this barrel any day of the week because I'm sure this thing's got more potential in it. The energy that you have in CO2, once you heat it up, there's a lot of energy there. So, all right, so that piece it's not stuck in the gun, so I feel pretty safe about this. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot some more 9.9 riot balls. This time I got 6 in here. The only modification to this mag was a little spacer in the bottom. But I'm not worried about this one self-destructing because, you know, we don't have, well, I mean, we're still 800 PSI, but, you know, so maybe I shouldn't speak yet. Hopefully this one doesn't blow apart too. But let's give it a try. Let's see what we have for numbers. Mag 2, shot 1. Mag 2, shot 1. 800 PSI working pressure. 900 on the mini gauge. Shot 1, mag 2. 440 feet per second. Magazine is still in here. Okay, again, I don't know what happened inside, but I guess we're going to find out right now. Mag 2, shot 2. I'm doing this one early enough in the day because I knew I was going to be long-winded, so I'll have time to upload it. All right, mag 2, shot 2. 432 feet per second for shot 2 on mag 2. Again, the magazine, she's there. The fact that I got a second shot out of it, well, actually, it doesn't mean anything. It could still be broken in there. We won't know until the last shot if the fowler got damaged on this one. This one, though, I was the one that was already damaged, I think. I got the nail in it, so what the hell? If it gets more damage, it gets more damaged. This is shot 3 on mag 2. Here we go. 420 feet per second. Shot 4 on mag 2. 406 feet per second. And shot 5 on mag 2. 396 feet per second. And they're rolling back at me. I should have one left in here. Let's see. Shot number 6 for mag 2. 386 feet per second. That should be all of them. Let's see. Got my fingers and toes crossed. Let's hope for the best when I release this one. All right, so far that's a good sign. Oh, thank you, sweet Jesus. Thank you. All right. This one with the little adapter at the bottom. Again, probably because, you know, less pressure. There was less pressure in the gun. I was already eating up some of that 850 psi working pressure. So that's good. That's good. Okay, we still have 5, 6, about 650 working pressure. And well, now the two gauges actually agree. It's stabilized. We got 650, maybe a little bit more on the mini gauge. Let me show you this way. Somebody doesn't say that I'm full of crap, right? If you don't show it, you get the guys that say you're long-winded and they don't want to hear you talk. And then you got the other guys when you don't talk that say you didn't give us enough information. Okay, so there's the working pressure gauge on the back. There still is a drop to some extent. I guess once you even out the pressures, when it drops low enough, maybe there's not as much of a drop. Okay, and then you got the midi gauge. Okay, hopefully I'm holding that. So yeah, I would say 5, 6, closer to 7 on the mini gauge, 700 psi, and yeah, it was still about 650, almost 7 here. So at some point, once the pressure drops, both gauges tend to agree. So all right, we're gonna load up 6 more of the Riot, the 9.9 Riot, 9.9 gram Riot balls, and we're just gonna shoot until this Pastelli says we can't shoot no more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Was able to get all 6 in here. It was tight, but I could get all 6 in here with the slightly modified magazine spring. So, oh, I got freaking balls everywhere. I don't want to trip over these things. And I'm going to need them in a minute probably because, all right, I would think I should be able to get through one more magazine with 750 psi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we'll take these numbers as well. Why not? Since I got a stock today. All right, mag 3, shot 1. 378 feet per second. Mag 3, shot 2. 362 feet per second. Mag 3, shot 3. 354 feet per second. I cannot speak. I am tongue-tied. All right. What was that? That was shot 3, I think. All right, here comes shot 4. Shot 4. Mag 3, shot 4. 344 feet per second. I think I got 2 more rounds left in this. We're just under 600 working PSI left. All right, shot 4, here goes shot 5. Mag 3, shot 5. 334 feet per second. And we're still above 500 PSI, just a scotch. About 500 here. Both gauges are agreeing. About 550 PSI. I think I got 1 more in here. 316 feet per second. And I'm at 500 PSI on the mini gauge. Okay. And yeah, 500. Oh, it's hard with the buttstock to get close. 500 PSI on the working gauge. What I'm calling the working gauge. She's a working girl, this one right here. That's my working gauge. Yeah. My working gauge. Yeah. All right. I'm losing my freaking mind now. Well, some would say I never had it, but of course the magazine's fine. I mean, we're shooting with subpar pressure right now, so. All right. I might be able to get 1 more magazine. They probably won't be high numbers. Dog hair, German Shepherd hair on everything. I told that dog to stay out of this area. I told her. But Nova. She don't listen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think I'm going to get more than 5, so. But what the hell? What the hell? Wow. I don't normally have to walk that far for these things. Holy cow. But let's do, yeah, let's throw 6 in there. Why not, right? Probably won't get all 6. Get this oil off. All right. Probably won't get them all, but what the hell? Let's give it a whirl anyways. 500 PSI. Yeah, I'm probably not going to get all that. All right, let's see. All right. Magazine 4. Shot 1. 310 feet per second. Nothing to scoff at. No. Like my goal before I finally made my goal was last shot to be like 285 feet per second or better. You know? That's pretty good in my book, but on 312 grams for less than $2? Come on. Mag 4, shot 2. 300 feet per second. Mag 4, shot 3. Yep. 286 feet per second. Mag 4, shot 4. 270 feet per second. Mag 4, shot 5. Shot 5. 254. This bolt's probably going to depressurize any minute now, any second. All right. I think I got one more round left, maybe 2. So magazine 4, shot, I'm going to call it shot 6. 226 feet per second. Nothing to write home about on that, but you know, I just shot 4 mags. 4 mags minus 2. So hey, no matter what I shot well over 3 magazines on 312 grams. Mind you, preheated. 2 of them were preheated, not the handle one, but these 2 were preheated. So they were pushing, what was I getting? 1100? I say 1100 PSI in here. So, all right, I think that was all 6 in there. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so it was kind of a bust. Literally a bust. We're gonna degas what's left. I probably still had a shot in here. I don't know. 2 shots, but they would have been really, really low joules. You know. All right, we're gonna watch the snail go back into its shell. La-da-da. All right. Again, thank you, viewers, for your comments. I appreciate all comments. I really do. I know my little rant in the beginning. It's just, you know, you get comments, all kinds of comments, but no big deal. I don't block them. You know, long as people aren't like saying anything that would go against YouTube standards, and then they take care of that on their own. Otherwise, I don't block people. I don't even erase them. I leave them there. You know, ain't gonna hurt my feelings. Not enough for me to erase the stuff. So it's a back-ass compliment anyways, right? Somebody takes the time to leave you a comment, even a negative comment. You know, I don't know about you guys, but for me, typically I live by the golden rule. You know, treat others the way you want to be treated. That's always been the way I operate. I don't like to talk bad about people unless they really earned my attention. And even then, my experience could be different than yours with people. That goes for our community as well. You know, I give everybody the benefit of the doubt because that's what I would want. I would want somebody to give me the benefit of the doubt. So golden rule, can't go wrong with that. All right, so let's check out punctures since we know this is a long video anyways. Good puncture in the handle, naturally. I probably should have had another shop cloth available. Here we go. I do use heavy amounts of oil. I mean, in the beginning when I first started doing this, you know, I always use some oil. You know, silicone oil. Not as heavy as I do now. I've been taking the advice from Airgun Ninja, one of my viewers. Most of you guys probably already know him. Great guy, really good solid advice. And you know, it's true. Just oil this stuff as much as you can within reason, as long as it ain't spraying out everywhere in the house. But I think it helps a lot because I mean, all the rounds that I've put through this Pistelli, like I said, I've never had to change the O-rings. Was it last night or the night before? I stay up late. I'm more of a night owl. So I'm up until like 2, 3 a.m. Eastern time. You know, that's what I do. I'm going down the rabbit hole constantly, I guess. Yeah, so I stripped the gun down. That's where I was going with this conversation. I'm also getting old and sometimes lose my train of thought. So bear with me, guys. Yeah, so I tore the gun down and the O-rings look great. I mean, they were a little dry, but it had been a while since I was using a silicone grease on the inside parts. And then I've been using the silicone oil for everything else. And yeah, they were a little dry, you know, because they, you know, but they were in great shape otherwise. You know, the barrel had a little bit of wear. I hit Sean up on that and to see what he thought about that. He says it looks normal. So, you know, I was looking for any other signs of something not going right with the bolt and spring and any signs of, you know, odd wear or anything that might tell me there's something else going on with this gun or for why it's ejecting mags. But at the end of the day, everything looked good. Everything looked tight. You know, I shared some pictures of that stuff on the community tab on my channel. Everything looked good. So the only thing I can chalk it up to is the higher pressures, you know, or maybe this gun and Brandon's gun. Maybe we got the only 2 guns in the world that you know, maybe they were, I don't know, maybe they were produced on a freaking Monday or something when everybody was all hung over from the weekend and something's different about them. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. All right, so the last in, first out cartridge, excellent puncture. I'm still running that little plastic spacer, guys, even though these are Umerix cartridges, and you would think since they designed the tank around these cartridges, 12 grams, that it'd be fine. But I'm still running it because I can, and I have seen some subpar punctures out of it, so it just gives me a little insurance. So, all right, so that was last in, first out. Let's check the other one. All right, really good. So I hit it harder today because the other day I didn't hit it as hard as I would have liked, and the punctures were not as good. They both punctured the other day, but they weren't like tears like that. You know, these 2 are really good and teared, and that's all I'm using is just this. I don't even know where I got this from. It was in my freaking junk drawer in my kitchen. I was like, I save anything if I see it in the parking lot or around the house, just in case one of the kids drops something they need. Rather than throw it out, I throw it in the junk drawer. So you'd be surprised all kinds of shit I got in that thing. So yeah, and as it turns out, that little, I couldn't even tell you how thick that is. I haven't measured it. Maybe I should. But it seems to do the charm, you know, give it a little extra insurance. All right. And that is the end of today's testing. I'm probably not going to run the numbers in the office. I think what I might end up doing, because it's going to be a very lengthy video, is I'll spend a little extra time today since I have the time, and I'll just put the numbers up. Well, you're going to know that because you probably already saw the numbers because I said I'm going to put them up. So I'll just put them up in the video. We'll edit it into it. All right, guys. Peace out. And hopefully this was educational, or at a minimum, entertaining.